We are, as they say, tangled in our anchor chain. Our financial systems are decades old. According to some estimates, we cannot track $2.3 trillion in transactions. According to some estimates, we cannot track $2.3 trillion in transactions. According to some estimates, we cannot track $2.3 trillion in transactions.
In entering upon this course of instruction, each of you should, so far as possible, lay aside for the time being all previous theories and beliefs. By so doing, you will be saved the trouble of trying all the way through the show to put, quote, new wine into old wineskins, end quote. Luke chapter 5, verse 37. If there's anything as we proceed which you don't understand or agree with, just let it lie passively in your mind until you have enjoyed the entire show. For many statements that would at first arouse antagonism and discussion will be cleared and easily accepted a little farther on. After the show is over, if you wish to return to your old beliefs and ways of living, you are at perfect liberty to do so. But for the time being, be willing to become as a little child. For said the Master in spiritual things, quote, except ye become as little children, ye shall in no wise enter into the kingdom of heaven, end quote. Matthew chapter 18, verse 3. If at times there seems to be repetition, please remember, the Self Love Show is a lesson, not a lecture.
I was very, very angry because I was learning about the history of what happened to us, and that's what Roots did to me. It brought a lot of those feelings out of me, and I became very disturbed by it, and I became very angry, and I started to retaliate in school. And it took my mother to come to me and tell me, it's a history, it's something that you should never forget, but you can rise above it and make an impact and make a change and make people aware of the pain that we have endured. But at first I was very disturbed by it, and I retaliated in some ways, violently. We used to go to other pools, and he would take me, and as soon as I get in the pool, they would get out of the pool. You don't forget your heritage, but you move forward in trying to make a better life for everyone, and that you always want to be viewed as a person. Reach back and pull someone with you.
And your cousin said to you, why do you talk like a white girl?
It was one of those kind of moments where it was like, you're not like us. And it was because of my speech. At this point, the viewers
Show
were
starts
watching.
in 3 minutes.
There are a lot of people nodding, because when you grow up in the neighborhood, you could get your butt kicked going to school if you looked too uppity or if you were studying too hard. So I had to grow up learning these two languages of how do I fit in with my family and my community and still excel. This wouldn't be the first time that my identity would be challenged. My parents from very early age encouraged us to put our opinions on the table, to ask questions, to question the context of situations. You could speak your mind, but you had to be respectful, and if you got out of hand, you got to look, you get a spanking. They weren't freewheeling parents, they were still black parents.
But I saw it like everybody else saw it. It looks like a white people attacking a black man. I thought that, I felt that was the case, what everybody's thinking. But I don't know the hearts of those men. I have no idea what's in their hearts.
Right.
Brother,
I'm wiping it though. I'm gonna wipe it.
Please like, share, subscribe.
I'm gonna say, hey.
Tori's oldest brother, between us. Tori made me at Beta. And so, he just wanted to say a few words before we let you go here.
Okay. Yeah.
Brother Thomas, thank you so much for gracing us with your appearance, man. Grateful. You expanded our nation beyond belief. It's just a wonderful thing. And we would like to present you with the Self Love Show first annual Ernest Lee Thomas Achievement Award.
Oh man.
It's
Oh my
apropos
God.
that you are
Man,
the
don't
first
do that to
recipient.
me.
And nope, we call it the Raj.
We're gonna call it the Rise.
Oh, I love it. Oh man.
Yeah, so we
Oh,
have it
God.
on
Michelle was
order.
doing
You
the
know,
Raj.
we so it's going to come here. We're going to show it to the show, and then myself or Tasia deliver it to you or ship it to you from there.
Thank you, brother.
Show starts in 1 minute. Please like, share, subscribe. 1 minute. Please like, share, and subscribe.
And even in this instance, if I could be of service to a 9-year-old girl or a 19-year-old woman or girl who wants to be a woman, is to really remember that self-love is the best way that you can receive love from anybody else, because it's coming from you. A lot of times we forget that. We look externally for this love. We look externally for this feeling of validation and adoration and approval, and it has to come from within.
Please like, share, subscribe. We jump this off for 30 seconds. 30 seconds.
This is your last chance. After this, there is no turning back. You take the blue pill.
This is the last time.
You wake up in your bed and believe whatever you want. You take the red pill. You stay in Wonderland. And I show you how deep the rabbit hole goes. Remember, all I'm offering is the truth, nothing more.
Sir. Self Love Show is in the building. We are in the building. Yes, sir. Welcome to the Self Love Show on This Ain't That Network. Self Love, Vision. This is your co-host, 9 Millie. All praise to the ancestors, the Most High, and my beloved Mama Sky. Rest up. Simulation theory. It's the idea that reality is not what it seems out there, but rather a computer-generated simulation created by some advanced civilization. Preposterous, you say? Today we'll provide scientific, religious, and metaphysical data to support such a claim. Go ahead, sit back, relax, and enjoy another edutaining episode of the Self Love Show. These are lessons, not lectures. We're live in living color. Today is Tuesday, September 26th at 6:24 p.m. in the second city. And as always, you cats can be anywhere in this magnanimous universe, but thankfully, we all chose to be here together. Here together. Shot down, bear down, what down, brother Wordsmith. What you manifesting?
Love, now you know me. I'm manifesting love. What you manifesting?
Ditto, good brother. Pure, magnificent, magnanimous. Some said harsh, some say tough.
but it's love just the same, G.
No doubt, no doubt.
What's been happening in your neck of the country since we last jumped this off, bro?
Saturday we had Autumn Tunes, Midwest Festivals through Autumn Tunes in the Forest Preserve on 112th over East. Nice turnout, always great people. The DJs on fire. It was an awesome experience.
Nice. Produced by you say Midwest Fest, huh?
Yeah.
Big ups, Midwest Fest. Sure everybody had a beautiful time over East.
Absolutely.
All right, so that's what's up, y'all. So what to expect today? We always have the Self Love Show quote of the day, and then our platform, more growth and development video, and of course we got Tattoo Tyranny. We show our government interacting, and then we could decide if we like it or don't like it. Of course, there's a dome teaser, a riddle. Your mind is awful if you waste it. It's a terrible thing if you waste it. And then the topic today is simulation theory. Gonna unpack that. Phone lines are open, 424-900-6945. That number's what?
Troll free.
Once again, that number's 424-900-6945. And that number's what?
Absolutely, positively troll free.
Trolls get what?
Holes around here.
That's right. We'll make you famous.
Let's go viral.
Yeah, I'll be your huckleberry. Your dingleberry. All right. Smash that like button, y'all. It's free. Don't cost you nothing. We wrap it up with my personal favorite part of the whole show, and that's where Brother Wordsmith summarizes everything in a metaphysical bit of prose, which is genius. Do stick around for that. You got any announcements, bro?
Like, share, subscribe, hit the bell so everybody knows, and got me some more self-love vision.
Self-love vision. That's right. Can't make a decision without your self-love vision, huh? We're gonna start selling these.
Yes.
Self-love vision, you guys. Coming soon. Yeah. Stop the blicky, stop the violence. Love one another. Be your best you. And keep yourself out of jail out there as well. Right, Sal?
Oh yeah. Don't want to do none of that part.
Yeah. Those are
prison is slavery.
Check the 13th Amendment. Check it. And that's those are my announcements, you guys. So is there anybody in the chat we want to interact with you? Let us know what's going on. Maybe you have some ideas on simulation theory. Maybe you witnessed some glitching that you want to discuss. Maybe tell us where you're at, if you so choose. But enough of my yapping. I'm going to turn it over to this good brother so he can handle his business out there.
Welcome. Y'all know how the story go. It's the Self Love Show. Today, we're unpacking simulation theory. As always, the phone numbers, it's tagged in there, pinned in there, 424-900-6945, I believe.
Yeah, that's right.
Yep. Wanted to make sure we get it clear, we get it good. Y'all know how we do it. As always, we got some very important videos we'd like you to check out. But prior to that, we have the Self Love Show quote of the day. And I lost where it is.
Please like, share, subscribe.
All the time. Like, share, subscribe. For those of us who believe in physics, the distinction between past, present, and future is only a stubbornly persistent illusion. Once again, for those of us who believe in physics, the distinction between past, present, and future is only a stubbornly persistent illusion. And that would be Albert Einstein. more growth and development platform. Number one, repair our nation via reparations. We demand our silver back. Number two, to connect our breadwinners with our activists. And three, show an accurate depiction of African-American Chi-Town. 4, to shine a light on positive influences. 5, heal our community one person at a time. 6, to provide an unfiltered platform for our influencers. 7, recycle the black dollar. 8, to provide mentors for the mentorless. 9, to close the gap between us and our pink kinsmen.
We're closing the gap.
And number 10, protect our women, children, and men by any and all means necessary.
Absolutely. That part right there, all those parts right there. Tune in to the More Growth and Development platform. All right. That's foundational. That's community building. All right. So if you didn't catch it last week, right here on the Self Love Show on TATN, This Ain't That Network, we covered Send in the Clones. Where are the clones?
Oh, yeah. That show, man, I advise, if you didn't see it, go check it out. Check it out.
Yeah. We're not going to say, indulge in dubage. Yoda, prior to checking it out, we're not going to say don't do that. Is that a double negative? Yoda Santo de la Rosa. What's up,
Yes,
good noob?
Yo.
Well, welcome aboard the Self Love Show. Appreciate your support. Yeah, so do check that out about those killer clones from outer space. Interesting. Self Love here may or may not believe that they already walk amongst us. Human cloning.
Oh, yeah. Well, I do. So there's that.
All right. But enough of that. You guys, please like, share, or and subscribe. So, Self, did you see pig humor out there? Pig humor.
Not sure. You have creative names for these clips. So.
Funny little pig should be doing stand-up comedy. I know you stay pretty unplugged.
Yes, I do.
Funny little pig.
There's growing outrage today over a cop who laughs while talking about the death of a grad student who was run over by a patrol car.
She is dead.
Body cam video shows the cop, Daniel Orderer, laughing it up during a call with the president of the Seattle Police Union.
Yeah, just write a check. Yeah, $11,000. She was 26 anyway. She had limited value.
Whoa.
He's talking about 23-year-old Northeastern University student John V. Kandula, who was mowed down by a patrol car driven by another cop speeding at 74 miles per hour to an emergency call. Orderer, who is vice president of the police union, seems to minimize the tragedy.
I don't think she was thrown 40 feet either.
Oh, my God.
I think she went up on the hood, hit the windshield, then when he hit the brakes, flew off the car. But she is dead.
What?
Even fellow cops are appalled.
The victim and her family, that they're going to see and hear this video of them talking about their loved one like she's a piece of trash. What kind of person could laugh about somebody being hit and put a dollar amount on their life?
What do we want? Justice!
Last night, protesters called for the laughing cop to be fired. But Officer Orderer says he was not being callous, just talking about how city lawyers would treat the case. I understand that if a citizen were to hear it, they would rightfully believe I was being insensitive. The comment was not made with malice or a hard heart. Quite the opposite.
She is dead.
Wow.
Yeah, he's got
Wow.
hair. He's got hair, so I tend to trust the pigs with hair more than I trust the pigs without hair.
No, I don't trust any of those guys, especially if they're laughing at shit like this. This is
Yeah, first, rest in peace to the young lady and condolences to her family. But and you know, Self, he wasn't laughing alone. What are the odds of because he was the vice president, I think, of the police union, and the guy he was talking to was the president of the union. What are the odds of the president being on the other end of that phone laughing it up too, and making jokes?
Well, I mean, the way he was laughing, I think he would have been.
I mean, come on, Self.
That was.
Go ahead.
I almost threw up.
Yeah, I mean, come on, Self. If I'm talking to you and I'm saying stuff, and I'm like, wait a minute, he's not laughing. You know,
Right.
you're either gonna stop with the dud jokes, or you're gonna think, oh, this is weird. You know, you're not gonna sit there and keep yucking it up. Big ups to Matt Stoddard. He say, "What up, Matt?
What up, Matt?"
And Wakil L said, "What's cracking, team? What it do?"
Right.
Yes, sir. What it do? Appreciate y'all support. And she was hit by a police car.
Yeah, that's terrible. That's terrible. I mean, it feels the fact that it was hit by a police car and the joking
About a citizen who he's sworn, who he's took a blood oath to protect.
and she's dead. Well, I don't know about the blood oath, but
Tyranny?
Oh, come on.
We want to hear from the chat. What do you guys think?
Very easy. It's tyranny. Very, very easy.
Funny pig, ain't he?
Son of a.
Yeah. I mean, you know, he's going to go on tour one day. As far as I can.
Too much funny about that. That was god awful.
Hey, you guys, like, share, subscribe. All right, please like, share, subscribe. Let us know in the chat. You can put a thumbs up if you like that tyranny. You can put a thumbs down if you don't like tyranny. Today's topic is simulation theory, unpacked. We're not going to say don't smoke a doobage as you're watching today's show. You know, we're not going to say we're not doing it. Is that a double negative? Can you use double negatives on YouTube, Self?
I think sometimes to get your point across, you have to.
That's right.
Otherwise, they'll just shut you down.
That's right. All right, pink crime out there. We got Judge Savage. Big ups to KCal News. This is fair use. Judge Savage out there, Self, huh?
Text messages tonight that an Orange County judge apparently sent after he allegedly shot and killed his wife. KCal News reporter Lauren Posen is in Van Nuys tonight with the other details we're learning about this case.
Well, these are those new court documents that are revealing some shocking new details, and really for the first time painting a clear picture in this murder case against a one-time beloved judge. Orange County Superior Court Judge Jeffrey Ferguson has found himself on the other side of the courtroom. He's out on bail after prosecutors charged him with killing his wife inside their Anaheim Hills home earlier this month.
I don't want to comment on anything about Judge Ferguson except he is appropriate to the circumstances.
New court documents reveal more about the prosecution's case, alleging Ferguson shot his wife at close range while he was drunk. Minutes after the shooting, they say he sent text to his court clerk and bailiff reading, "I just lost it. I just shot my wife. I won't be in tomorrow. I will be in custody. I'm so sorry." The couple's son called 911. Prosecutors say when police got to the home, the judge smelled of alcohol and told officers, "Well, I guess I'm done for a while. Oh my God, my son. Oh man, I can't believe I did this." And in the search of the judge's home, detectives with the Anaheim Police Department recovered 47 firearms, including rifles, shotguns, and handguns, over 26,000 rounds of ammunition, and the murder weapon. Ferguson faces up to 40 years in life in prison if convicted.
This was a terrible tragedy for the entire Ferguson family. It was an accident, and it was nothing more than that.
His case will be tried in LA County, but the Orange County DA will still prosecute. The state attorney general's office ruled there's no conflict of interest. It's a decision that's raised some eyebrows.
Even if it's right on the letter of the law,
He's
the
a
whole thing
wacky
sticks to
liberal.
high.
Attorney Steve Meister says it jeopardizes the integrity of the legal system.
There's no way to get around the idea
Look at him.
that DA is under pressure to prevail, to show that they're not kind of soft pedaling on behalf of one of their own.
Now remember, Ferguson is out on bail. So next week, prosecutors are going to go in front of a judge asking for additional bail conditions, including that he surrender his passport and refrain from alcohol. As for when Ferguson will go in front of a judge, that's set for next month. Reporting in Van Nuys, Lauren Posen, KCAL News.
Another debate tonight over a school.
Yeah, man. Anaheim, you know, that's where Disney is. It's nice out there. You know, it's nice out there. You got this judge who, rests his wife's soul, decides that, you know, it's a domestic situation. He's apparently scummy. So he's going away for a while.
And I lost it. That's so much. That doesn't sound like it's an accident. Liberal
No.
guy.
And the son was there, and I'm just wondering if he said it's gonna be, I'm gonna be gone for a while. I don't think, looking at his age and everything, I don't think he's gonna see the light of day again.
It's hard to say. He's a judge and he's white, so I mean YT, so you know.
It's murder. Cold.
Oh yeah,
murder.
it's yes. But in light of his age and this and that, you know, we'll see what the judge does. You gotta watch this case.
Well, at least he had the presence of mind
We need
to
an update.
We definitely
We're
need
gonna-
an update.
we're
I'll
gonna
watch
need-
it. It's a local here.
Yeah, we're gonna need an update on that because you know they like to just wipe their bum with stuff like that and slide it up under the mattress, so to speak.
Yeah. He's yeah. I'd like to see how that turns out as well. And I'm glad Matt mentioned that because he had all those firearms. It was an accident. So here's my question. At what point, all right, if you have X amount of a contraband, they start considering it intent to sell and distribute. At what point, you know, I don't know if this judge was, you know, selling straw guns and holding them and supplying them to, you know, 12 so they can go into the black neighborhoods and put them on the street, you know, for X amount of dollars. What I'm saying is at what point, Self? I understand you're a wacky Second Amendment, you know, liberal, you know what I mean? You may or may not be liberal, but you're a wacky Second Amendment gun rights type of dude. At what point is it too many damn guns?
Yeah, I mean, unless you're
Come on.
Rambo or you know, in a movie, you probably don't need 47 weapons. That's
Come on.
probably say that's overkill for. Well, I don't know. If the tyranny keeps taking place, we might all need 47 weapons in our homes.
Yeah. He said it wasn't an accident.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I knew what
Oh,
you
no.
meant. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh no.
Yeah.
Especially when he says, I lost it. I shot my wife. I mean, I lost it. I shot my wife. That, you know, that was no accident.
Hey, but at least he had presence of mind to text his team and let them know, hey, I'm not going to be on the docket tomorrow. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm not gonna be in. So y'all, you know, gonna
Cancel
be in
all my
custody.
appointments tomorrow, Susie. and-
I'm gonna be in custody.
right. Tell the substitute judge to be available. Like at least he cared about everything that had happened the next day. He wasn't that damn drunk.
Yeah, he wasn't too bad about the wife either. He just like, God damn it, now I'm going away.
Man,
That's what it appeared to me.
Son, what did I do? His son
Yes.
called 12.
Yes. Well,
So,
I mean, yeah. Well, I mean, it's his mom. I mean, what?
No, that's crazy.
Dad kills your mom. That's
Right.
terrible,
do you,
bro.
do you
'cause, I
kill
mean,
your dad? Like, you know what I'm saying? Exactly.
You lose them both that day. I mean, he's still alive, but he won't be present.
Yeah, I understand your point. that'd make a great movie. Like, what do? You love them both. I'm not saying if the dad was abusive and this and
Right.
that. You
Right.
love them both, Self, and that's your mom, and
Just
you
gotta
got your
call the
stick on you.
police.
Call the police. Wow.
Your father's a judge, and I mean, you probably believe in the system and all.
You couldn't help your dad cover him up since you love him, cover the murder up since you love him so much.
Well, I mean, you love your mom so much too, so that's a problem for that. It's a conflict of interest right there because he killed her.
And once dad sent the drunken text.
Oh yeah, it's a wrap anyway. It's a wrap.
All right, I feel like we should move on. All right, you guys, like, share, subscribe. We got Simulation Theory today. Unpacked will be on that topic very shortly. I'm gonna go ahead and drop today's dome teaser in there. We may have had this one already. If we did, that should make you guys even smarter. So here's today's riddle. It's going to be pinned in the chat. For those of you who may be visually impaired, I'll go ahead and mention it as well. So, dome
teaser. Like, share, subscribe, hit the bell, share far and wide. And if you get a chance, hit the show with Matt Stoddard. Watch that. It's gonna be a lot of information.
Oh yeah. Big ups, Matt. All right, so spelled forwards, I'm what you do every day. Spelled backwards, I'm something you hate. What am I?
Yeah, we had
It's
that. I believe.
I thought we had it. The only reason I thought we had it is because I knew the answer. It's rare that I'm able to come up with these. But I'm getting better, actually, since we've been doing this. So Self Love has a thumbs up. He's saying that he knows the answer. We had it before, but I do believe he solved it initially from what I remember. But he's putting in his answer. I'll go ahead and. All right, so we did our riddle. All right, enough. And Self Love, your answer is correct. So hang around to the end of the show if you guys can't figure it out, but enough of the appetizers.
Let's quench the Self Love Nation's thirst.
That's right. All right. Well, production, we don't have a promo vid today, so don't worry about that. We're just going to jump right into it. Our topic is simulation theory. It's unpacked. The phone lines are open. You can call, text, or you can use the YouTube chat to interact.
I'll be right back.
All right. What's simulation theory out there, Self? What's the whole theory?
Theory is that we're living in a simulation, a computer generated or some other generation of and it's just basically an illusion, and it's being projected from somewhere else. There is a creator that is monitoring it. Very similar to the Sims game that people play, where they got all kind of things, daily life and working and doing what they do and going about their daily life. And there's even been stated that Sims.
Whoa. So you're saying people are playing games like where they're just going through mundane daily life things online and buying clothes and doing the agriculture, washing the dishes while their dishes pile up in their real life?
Oh yeah.
That's what's going on?
Oh yeah. Oh
Wow.
yeah. Sure is.
Wow.
It's factual.
Well, your definition is spot on. It's an idea that reality is not what it seems, but rather a computer generated simulation created by some advanced civilization, a simulator, or even us in the future. Where'd this come from? This whole theory? You got any idea the origin? Where this all come from out there?
There's a guy.
This wacky tinfoil theory.
This guy had it. He theorized it a while back. There's a number of reasons why he came up with it. His name is slipping my mind right now. I think it was in 65.
All right. Well, before you get to him, it's got roots in ancient philosophical traditions such as Plato's allegory of the cave,
Oh yeah, it's older than
Zwangi's
him.
butterfly dream, and Descartes' evil demon. These are examples of skeptical scenarios that question the nature of reality and our ability to know it. I read Plato's allegory of the cave. I didn't read Butterfly Dream or Evil Demon. I have to check those out. It's also, as we know, it's been well explored in science fiction, like The Matrix. Definitely, you guys watch that over and over and over. Definitely the first three, I would say. First two, definitely. Which the Matrix, as we may or may not know, depicts a dystopian world where humans are enslaved by machines and live in a simulated reality by some advanced civilization or higher being. Nick Bostrom, a Swedish philosopher, he published a paper in 2003 titled "Are You Living in a Computer Simulation?" where he presented 3 possible scenarios. Got any idea on those scenarios, so? The scenarios, because Elon must be talking about these scenarios too.
One that it's a learning situation where they're trying to figure out what would happen if certain things happen. So disaster.
Yeah. I see what you're saying. Yeah. Yeah. The future.
How it could roll out.
Yes. They're looking at our history. They're looking at the history of their ancients, and they're running simulations to see how the ancients lived, in that sense. It'd be like if you built a simulation of how the cavemen were living.
Yeah.
So the fraction of human level, one is the fraction of human level civilizations that reaches a post-human stage that is capable of running high fidelity ancestor simulations. So they say number one is that number is close to zero, very close to zero, or 2, the fraction of post-human civilizations that are interested in running ancestor simulations is very close to 0, or 3, the fraction of folks with our kind of experiences that are living in a simulation is very close to 1. Bostrom argued that at least one of these scenarios is true, and that if the third one is true, then we are almost certainly living in a simulation. He based his argument on the assumption that future generations might have enormous amounts of computing power and might use it to run realistic simulations of their ancestors or history. He also suggested some ways to test or falsify this hypothesis is to look for glitches and inconsistencies in the program. But I know I think you were talking about Dr. Gates, which we're going to get into later.
I was talking about him for the initial part.
Bostrom? Oh, okay. Yeah.
Bostrom. Yeah, Dr. Gates. Yeah.
It's a brother from, yeah.
Oh, yeah. I know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
we talking about him now or?
Yeah, no, we're going to do it after break. But,
okay.
But yeah, we're gonna get into that with Dr. Gates. We're definitely gonna get into that. So as far as the theory and origins and anything like that, Self, is anything else? When did you first start hearing about simulation theory? I don't think I think the Matrix probably really did it for me.
Yeah, I didn't pay attention at that point to it being like our reality until shortly after the Matrix. And then really in the last, I want to say 10 years, I really started understanding a lot about this is more than likely a simulation that we're living in. Some research, some hearing from different people, my own experience, my death experience.
Yeah, we've seen glitches and stuff, and and heard them and felt them, and
a lot of glitches too.
Well, and that's what we're about to get into. So you guys, full disclosure, we're gonna give you evidence for the simulation theory. and then we'll go from there. I mean, we'll let you know how we feel about it. I may or may not, believe it at all. So, yeah.
Yes, y'all. We don't stop. Self Love Show rocks on. And as we go, y'all know what it is. We're growing. Y'all keep on helping us grow. Before you know it, it's gonna be worldwide. Today we're unpacking simulation theory. And we got into the origins and all of that, where it came from or what we think came from. Second half, y'all know how we do. We about to blow the top off of it and expand the whole conversation. It's going down into town.
Mind elevation, more growth and development.
Always, as always, we got some excellent videos that we need you to check out, and we'll be right back at you to go to another level.
We're not saying don't take this time to mess around with Dubich.
You can do what you want to do. We'll be right on back to. Whoa.
It was like a regular hood. I was with my homies and shit, all my friends, so we grew up playing, kicking it and shit. Then we got older, still kicking it, but other shit got to happen and shit. You know how that shit go. But like where we at, it's low income and shit. Like all these low income projects and shit, so it wasn't a lot of money. So, it tend to be where ain't a lot of money, there's a lot of violence. So run up the hill shit. I was going to jail a lot of shit. When I got locked up for the drama and shit, like Dirk was the main one supporting me and shit, helping me. So we got even closer when I was just in jail. Then I got out. He flew me out there with him and shit. Got the rapping, so me and Dirk, we like.
Hey man, if your brother got on $500,000 worth of jewelry, he gonna have a lawyer. That's how we move.
Was you ever scared at any point though?
Yeah,
Cause
the whole time. Yeah, me scared shit. Yeah, the whole time.
You was locked up, or did you get out
of
bail?
It's like,
or?
No, I was, there wasn't no bail. You just got to wait, like, till it's that time, like. And you don't know what's gonna happen to the last minute till they tell you, like, all right, not guilty or guilty.
Has human ever walked on the moon?
Yes.
Have you ever seen an unidentified flying object?
Yes.
Is human alone in the universe?
No.
Is there a God?
Yes.
Self Love, your ship, has a magic box. Now suppose the person whom you can't fathom living without became terminally ill with a rare blood disease. Now what if Self Love, your ship, provided you with a magic box? On that box, there's a button on the top. Self Love, your ship, my club says, if you push this button, ship, your loved one will be totally healed. However, by pushing the button, an innocent person whom you do not know will certainly die. Do you push the button?
Yes.
Do you push the button? All right.
Yes.
What's the meaning of life?
It's simply to glorify God.
I didn't care if he shot me, just not my baby, please. The last moments I had with her, she was being bad. I didn't know the nature of the crime at the time. All I know was I gotta get my baby out of here. Then he came behind the store and we saw him. He was like in military clothes. He had like this Marine fit on, a bulletproof vest, and the biggest gun I have ever seen strapped around his shoulders. And he just sat there, he watched us. He could have killed us all. When there was 3 other women, older women that worked there behind that building with me. Everybody else could jump. I couldn't, I had a baby. So therefore, we begging for our lives, and I fell begging for mine, blocking my baby with my body. And then he was like, if you don't want me to shoot you, run. And then I was scared to go with the policemen afterwards when they actually banged on the apartment door and found me. I was scared to go with them because they had the same gun wrapped around their shoulder. I was like, you look like him.
We over east, man, we chilling, me and my homie. And so he was on the phone. So this how they call us sleeping, because he was on the phone. I'm coming out the liquor store. I go to the car. He's still hollering at his homeboy at the phone. He come from the payphone to hop in the car. And while he hopping in the car, I'm thinking he just, finna finish hollering at his homie. He said, man, Twitch just gonna get him what he want. Like, what do you mean just get him what he want? I look. Man, I'm talking about He probably had a 4.5 or whatever. The motherfucking barrel looked like the size of a peanut butter jar hole that day. Goddamn it! I was like, God damn. So my instincts, I got a little jewelry on, so I snatched my arm back a little bit. And he noticed I had, man, what you doing? And it looked like he was finna bang. Then that's when my guy was like, Twist, just go and get to him. Then he heard him say, what, Twist? Then he realized it was me. And the same dude that was finna get me, he ended up telling me his rap name, broke it down to the knee, let my homie get in the car, sat there and spit a verse for me and everything, and let me go. Wow, that's what you call respect right there.
I have told them that Molotov cocktails and rifles would not solve their problems. I have tried to offer them my deepest compassion while maintaining my conviction that social change comes most meaningfully through nonviolent action. But they ask, and rightly so, what about Vietnam? They ask if our own nation wasn't using massive doses of violence to solve its problems. Their questions hit home. And I knew that I could never again raise my voice against the violence of the oppressed in the ghettos without having first spoken clearly to the greatest purveyor of violence in the world today, my own government.
As well as the blacks who speak of and who are attempting to attain liberation. So I am not standing for violence, but I do stand for self-defense.
Man, I thank you guys for inviting me on. Thank you. Great format, very solid. You know, it don't have that low budget movie feel. You know what I'm saying? And we get that a lot in the black community, for real. Yeah. Like people look at us to be fuck ups. They look at us to be low budget. They look at us to be stuttering and use a whole bunch of and all of that. But no, they got the real deal on here. That everybody know who Torian Mills is, baby. They know.
Hey, well, bro,
They're so ignorant.
Hey, but this platform's your platform. This platform's my platform. From Inglewood, California to
the
Chicago,
South Shore.
Crazy thing about it.
This platform is
made for you and me.
It's made for you.
The crazy and establish this Constitution for the United States of America. I was trying to get out the end of the preamble, but go ahead, bro.
Yes, y'all. It don't stop. Self Love Show rocks on. Let's go. Y'all know how it go.
For our people. It's the Self Love Show. It's the Self Love Show. It's the Self Love Show. To expose they don't equal. The Self Love Show. The Self Love Show. The Self Love Show. We wordsmith 9 meals. The Self Love Show. The Self Love Show. You know how the story go. It's the Self Love Show.
We're back. Y'all know how the story go. It's the Self Love Show. Unpacking the simulation theory. Like we went to the early points and talked about the origin and all of that. And now we're going to get to the meat. Let's eat.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Let's eat. All right. Appreciate y'all standing by during the break. And let's go ahead and get at it. Like, share, subscribe. Like, share, subscribe. Simulation theory. So yeah, we teased them about Dr. James Gates. Dr. James Gates. This is the theoretical physicist and professor at University of Maryland in Dartmouth.
Absolutely.
He, from what I understand, was previously a non-believer in simulation theory. And he kind of stumbled across what he said could be a proof of it.
Yeah, and he's not 100%. He's still on the fence.
Correct.
For the record. But he found that the Endinkra codes were identical to the framework of search engines.
And the who? The
search engines, Google,
the what codes?
Duck. Endinkra codes. They're like some symbols that have been on walls for millions of years, actually.
Okay. All right. Go ahead.
Yeah. And they are what produce. It's amazing to hear, but they are what produce search engines. They run on the same codes as those, and because of that, it made him see, oh, so this all could be a simulation. It's possible for him, but to me, it's 100%.
Well, it's written in scripture, you know, as a man thinketh, you know, I think therefore I am, but that's not in scripture. But as a man thinketh, so is he. And you know, anything we can
think of in his heart,
conceive, yeah. So it's like, that's interesting. Yeah, Dr. Gates is known for his work on supersymmetry. It's a theory that proposes that every particle has a partner that we have not yet detected. Every particle has a super partner that we have not yet detected. He's also interested in simulation theory, the idea that our reality is actually a computer-generated simulation. He claimed that he's found something very surprising in his research on supersymmetry. Computer code embedded in the mathematical equations that describe the universe. He said that this code is similar to the error correcting codes that are used to make the internet work, and that it is very unlikely to find such a code in a natural system. He speculated that this could be a sign that we are living in a simulation, and that the code is a way for the simulator to correct any glitches and or inconsistencies in its simulation. Dr. Gates also said that he is not fully convinced, to Tori's point, by simulation theory, and that he's mostly joking when he suggests that we're living in a simulation. He said that he's open to the possibility now, but he does not have any definitive proof or evidence of it. He also said that simulation theory raises many philosophical and ethical questions, which we will raise later in today's show. So, yeah.
His discovery of the Endinkra codes being with the search engine and a lot of this stuff that what runs the internet.
Yeah. It's based off of nature.
No. I don't believe so. I don't think so. I don't know that, because it's based off some symbols that were drawn a long time ago, which to me advances that those symbols were computer code. It was a different operating system at the time to use them. And we have gone through the simulation and brought another way to do it. But it's
Funny
all
you mentioned
based on that.
symbols, because they say that's how extraterrestrials and people who communicate through telepathy. There's like a universal symbols that can be understood by anyone in the universe. So are you saying this could be some sort of back code, like a what code? What am I looking for? Mainframe code. You know what I'm talking about? Like the actual
operating
language
system.
Yes.
Yeah, it's a software. It's a software. It programs the hardware though, so it's these codes, which are the Endinkra codes, or the Dinker symbols, are codes. They're not just a pictograph. It's science to it that can be translated.
How about the Fibonacci sequence? This some say this is evidence of code of a computer program.
I mean, everything is frequency, and it operates operates how the system is dictated. And because it operates in such a perfection, it would seem that it is computer generated or
Well,
source
it's
of
funny.
code.
It's funny you said frequency, because this whole Fibonacci, when they stumbled across it, they of course discovered the ancients were already using it. They were just applying it to music and harmonics. So it's interesting that you mentioned frequency, as I said, the Fibonacci numbers. So
Yeah.
go ahead.
All my reference with those is frequency, not just the numbers. So I heard about the frequency before the numbers and how they
really?
can use that to judge populations and yeah, it was more about the frequencies because of the music. When they're used in the music, it's the highest vibrations, the love vibrations. It was 332, instead of 432 instead of 440, you know what I mean? 432, 528, I think. And there are frequencies that if the music is based at that frequency or used at that frequency, it's going to be about elevation and raising your mind state. So
Which could be a code. So
it's a code. It's definitely.
So for those who don't know, the sequence, it's a series of numbers that starts with 0 and 1, and each subsequent number is the sum of the previous two numbers. So for example, the next number after 0 and 1 is 0 plus 1 equals 1, and the next number after 1 and 1 is 1 plus 1 equals 2, and so on. So the first few numbers on this sequence would be 0, 1, 1, 2, 3, 5, 8, 13, 21, 34, and it goes on into so-called infinity. But they said these sequences were already known in ancient India, where they were using it for poetry and music. Nothing new under the sun, right? More scripture. That's so the ratio of two consecutive Fibonacci numbers lead to the golden ratio. So we hear a lot about that, which is 1.618034. It's an irrational number that's approximately that, and it's been considered an ideal proportion for beauty and harmony in art, music, and architecture.
Facts. Height, the space between your eyes and your nose and your face.
Your elbow to your hand. Yeah, it all comes down into this ratio.
Yeah, I still don't know how they get the beauty out of it, because people that's trying to use it don't measure up to it. But that's just my opinion.
Yeah. So these numbers can be used to construct a spiral, right?
Yeah.
And the spiral is called a Fibonacci spiral, and it approximates the golden spiral, which is a logarithmic spiral with a growth factor equal to the golden ratio. This spiral and the golden spiral, the Fibonacci spiral and the golden spiral, can be found in many natural phenomena, such as arrangements of seeds in a sunflower, the shape of a nautilus shell, and the Milky Way, spiral galaxies. These numbers can be used to construct a spiral by drawing squares with side lengths equal to the Fibonacci numbers and connecting the opposite corners with circular arcs. So
another reason that this is probably assimilation.
Yeah, exactly. Shells, right? Trees. They said trees exhibit this sequence in the branching patterns. You just mentioned the human body does. The brain does. Our what do you call that? Our nerves up in. Yes.
Organs and all of that.
Yeah.
It spirals in our belly button, and it spirals out and connects to all our organs and everything. right from my belly button, which makes the most sense because that's where the umbilical cord was connected and feeding the growing being.
It says if you count the number of branches or leaves at each level of a tree, you'll find a Fibonacci number. Also, if you measure the angle between successive leaves on a stem, you will often find that is close to the golden angle, which is derived from the golden ratio.
If the tree's left alone and not been pruned.
Yeah. Flowers, fruits. But what about the Fermi paradox? This is other evidence that we could be living in a simulation.
Oh, Fermi, the split. Is that the split?
That's the double slit electron observer
Yes.
experiment. Yeah,
Yes.
we're doing that next. The Fermi paradox, it's a problem that asks, where are all the aliens in the universe? So if life is so abundant, why haven't we been visited by or heard from anyone else? It's named after the Italian physicist Enrico Fermi, who wondered why we have no evidence of ET civilizations, despite the vast number of stars and planets in the Milky Way alone. He asked, where is everybody? So how they use this is to say maybe the program just doesn't have aliens in it.
Well, that would be asinine. I mean, my approximation, there is firmament over various portions of this plane, and that's the extraterrestrial. I don't think there is space how most people conceive and how we've been taught. And for them to not recognize and fully say that there's been technology from extraterrestrials that have advanced the technology here since their last reset. I mean, all
Yeah,
of this.
I'm just trying to make the case that, just giving evidence that why some say how some evidence is used to build a case for simulation theory.
No.
Also, they
you'd have to just ignore all the evidence that is here that they're aliens. That's why I don't deal with that theory or what he's talking about, because
gotcha.
Even in his time, there was lots of evidence.
Gotcha. All right. And then the speed of light. So what they say is that having this speed limit would be a tool by the simulator, the creator of the simulation, to keep us from getting outside the universe's firmament.
I could see that as a theory, but
how it keeps us from getting off the end of the screen.
The speed of the thought is faster than speed of light. The speed of non-conscious thinking, controlling your functions of this vehicle, is faster than the speed of light. The speed of light is self-projected limit. By this culture, and I know that it's not a limit. We can definitely do things faster than the speed of light.
Yeah, and I know I wanted to. So that's what they're saying is another. Many theorists use. They say, well, why is there a constant that keeps us from getting to the other side of the universe or outside the galaxy even? But yeah, let's go ahead, bro. Go ahead.
Yeah, well, they can't go through the firmament. So I mean, unless you add a vibration frequency that can match the firmament, then you can't go outside of it or come through it. And you're not just doing that with some regular old spaceship and some so-called astronauts.
Mm-hmm.
Or a nuclear bomb or any of that.
Yeah. So yeah, what's your take on I'm about to jump back on the two slit electron experiment?
Yeah, it's where quantum theory is based, and that all options are available. And it's also a very good evidence that we're in a simulation, because I don't know if it proves, but it says that results don't happen until something is observed or someone is observing. And both situations can happen when someone is observing.
Which means which means that would be just like those games you said they're playing now, those simulated realities, or even like, SOCOM Navy SEALs when we played that, not dating myself.
And
How
also
it's only how the computer, hold your thought, the computer to save computing,
right,
to
that's
need
what I was
less
gonna say.
computing power, you wouldn't have the whole universe
Running
generated
at the
at
same
once.
time.
Right. Just
so-
areas where there's which goes back to the question, and then get back to your point. If a tree falls in the forest and there's nobody around to hear it, doesn't make a sound. Some of these questions philosophically we've been asking, forever. Go ahead, Joe.
Yes. Yeah,
Does
'cause
it even fall?
Is it there? If there's
Right.
no one to
Right.
observe it, it's not even there. All of this. So we are co-creating this stuff at all times, and a lot of the
But we can't
places.
be co-creating nothing if we're in a simulation.
Yeah, because reason why I say co-creating is because it's not even there unless someone real is there. So, like, where I live at, that Jules is not even there till I go towards there, even
It's
though it's a
Jewel there,
bunch of
fella.
people there.
It's Jewel there. That's a Mandela effect. There's no S on the end, and we're gonna
It's
get
an
into
S on it. No, I'm just
we're
bullshitting.
gonna get into the Mandela effect after
No,
this.
it's
Go ahead.
Jewel. It's always been Jewel, though.
Hey, go ahead, bro. Go
We
ahead.
just, just like Scrimp and all of that. We just,
Soldiers Field.
Yeah.
We like to say Soldiers Field.
Yeah.
Oh, it's Soldier Field. Mandela effect.
Definitely.
We're gonna get there. But
Yeah, I broke my concentration.
you were talking about Jules.
Oh, it's not. I'm just saying it'll populate when I'm on my way there or driving down the street. All that populates as we go. It's
If there are no other observers, conscious observers populating it before you get there.
right. I mean, but we are all the center of our own situation. So for my situation, even if they're populating it there and all of that, it's not loaded into my situation.
Right.
Until I'm going towards that way or what have you.
Right. So your hardware, you're like a laptop. You're not
Yes.
computing just like when you got your computer
All
on
of
and
us,
it goes to
because
sleep.
we only have so much compute, that we can do, computing that we
Computing
can do.
power. Yeah.
Yes. Period.
Yeah.
It is growing. Like from Moore's law, I think it's Moore's law. They're
It is Moore's law.
increasing
And it's more growth and
every
development.
year.
Yeah.
And increasing. Every year the technology makes it more compatible, which is the same reason that, like, the Sims can become self-evident and realize that they exist. So it's also can be layers, as above, so below. So it layers to the
All right.
simulation.
Got you. All right. So yeah, back to the double slit electron observer experiment, right? Just wrap this up, then we're gonna get to the Mandela. It demonstrates the wave particle duality of quantum mechanics. So in this experiment, electrons are fired one at a time through a screen with two slits. And the pattern of their impacts on a detector behind the screen is observed. If the electrons are not observed at the slits, the electrons behave like waves and create an interference pattern on the detector. However, when the electrons are observed at the slits, they behave like particles and create two distinct bands on the detector, corresponding to each slit. This shows that the act of observation affects the outcome of the experiment, and that the electrons do not have a well-defined position they have a superposition as opposed to a well-defined position or trajectory until they are measured. The results of these variations are consistent with the quantum mechanical predictions and challenge the classical notions of reality and causality. To your point, it's a mind screw to say. And they even said stuff that they ran an experiment like you can't fool it.
Right.
Even before you set up the observation, the electrons have already gone into that certain pattern because it knows that you're going to observe it.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
I've known about this for quite some time. There's I can't even think of the name of the book. Man, this dude is a genius, and he used this, but he figured out like that during the experiments when they were doing it, it can have you answering a question before you even really know that it's asked.
Yes. Yeah, and to your point earlier, it's those electrons are in the future, the past. They can be in the future, the past, and the present at once.
Yeah, because there's only now.
Now, has an elder ever said to you, well, it's in the scripture, seek and ye shall find? Because we've had these discussions before. Something scientists are looking for and they're looking for. And I've been saying my whole life, they say if you're looking for something, you're going to find it. Right.
Period.
It's almost like we're creating it because, to your point, would you say we're all creators? We're manifesting it to a certain extent.
The whole thing is the simulation gets so advanced and then it resets.
Crashes?
Huh?
Crashes? That's what they did at the end of the Matrix.
Like
a reboot.
Yeah.
But
yeah, I mean, to a certain degree, that's why we can't build pyramids now, but we will be able to build pyramids before it resets again, if you can understand that situation.
And the pyramids are actually being built right now. That future you're talking about,
Well,
and
it's
that
all
past.
existing right now.
Correct.
So it's going to be a impasse. So crash is a great word because I approximate that's what it does, or they just reset the circumstances to try to get a different result. Project Looking Glass. They look into.
All right. You got it, bro. Creeper solved the riddle, the dome teaser.
Oh yeah, Creepers. That's my guy.
Yeah, look at Creeper. He's processing out there. Yeah. So other glitches, Self, which we mentioned earlier, is the Mandela effect.
I also believe Project Looking Glass.
Now it's got his name from Nelson Mandela because many people had the memory of Mandela dying in prison and them having a big funeral for him and his wife being there, Winnie, and none of that happened.
Oh, absolutely not in this timeline. I can't say that it didn't happen
Very
because
true.
I think that in different timelines and
Yeah.
dimensions,
Yeah, not
all
in this time.
possibilities happen.
Yeah, gotcha.
And yeah, so people often cross in between timelines and don't know. I think that's kind of the Mandela effect. And also, Project Looking Glass, they are trying to make adjustments to get to the result that they want, which also means to me that it's assimilation.
Creeper said, send him the money, Self Love. And he said the Mandela effect is real. So he said, how many presidents are on a dime? One. All right. So the Mandela effect is a phenomenon where a large group of people remember an event or detail differently from how it actually occurred, often attributing their false memories to alternate realities or universes. This term was coined by Fiona Broome, a paranormal researcher who discovered that she and many others shared that false memory of Nelson Mandela dying in prison in the 80s when he actually died, later.
2013.
2013.
Project Looking Glass, telling you that's got something to do with it.
I hear you. I hear you. We have to maybe do a show on that. Now, many people remember the Berenstain Bears, but the actual spelling is Berenstain Bears. And so that's one example of it. How about in Star Wars, Self? What did Darth Vader say to Luke?
I don't remember because I've heard it so many times, but it's either you're my son, Luke, or
Well, most people remember
Luke,
him saying, Luke, I am your father.
Oh, right. Father, they wasn't the son part, yeah.
But the actual line is, no, I am your father.
No, I remember Luke.
Exactly. And that's what I had remembered too. He said two different presidents on a dime. That's what I remember too, so I'm gonna have to look at a dime. I don't know if I have a dime near me.
It might be two different times because maybe that's what he's saying. First dime wasn't.
All right, from Snow White, what did the witch say to the mirror?
I don't know. Both sides of that again. I have to hear it too.
So many people remember the line from Snow White as mirror, mirror on the wall, who's the fairest of them all? But the actual line is magic mirror on the wall, who's the fairest of them all?
Yeah, I don't remember no magic part.
Correct. How about the Flintstones, Self? How many T's are in Flintstones? This should have been our riddle.
Right.
But I would have had to spell it. So yeah, so how many T's? Most people only remember one.
There's got to be two Flintstones.
How many T's are in the word Flintstones? Yeah, but most people don't remember the first T. So we thought it was Flintstones. And that's what I thought it was. I thought it was meet the Flintstones, have a yabba dabba do time. Flintstone, meet the Flintstones. So most people just saw it Flinstones. But when you actually look at it, it's Flintstones.
That's what I remember.
Yeah. Okay. How about Moore's Law, which you brought up? Okay. Now we're moving on to Moore's Law, and this is what Elon talks about. That's the evolution of computing power. So it's the observation that the number of transistors in a computer chip doubles every 2 years or so, which implies an exponential growth in processing power.
Correct.
There's an equation for it. Future processing power equals current processing power, times 2n. So that's what they're saying too, Self. you look at the video games we started playing with.
Oh man, I'm just saying, even the fact that there's quantum computers. Yeah, I mean, that's all based on Moore's law.
And AI learning.
Yes, and it's all based on it being a simulation.
The metaverse. So what they're
All of
saying
that.
is that
The metaverse is a simulation completely.
but how do we assume that there was another civilization of us that did this and created this simulation?
It don't even have to be another civilization. It could be one individual. It's very possible for that. And it's also possible for it to be a team.
When you're
Let
playing
us
your
make man in our image and likeness. It could be that too.
When you're playing more scripture, when you're playing your PS5, you think those things in there know what the hell's going on? You think they're going home to their families and everything when you cut the game off?
If there's a simulation game and you're building with it all the time, at some point they will become self-evident. They will realize that they exist. They'll say, I am because I am.
Self-aware is what you're looking at.
Yes.
I think, therefore I am.
Yes. And their AI, I don't want to say programs, they're AI beings that have existed long before us.
What are those, the so-called angels?
AI, that even before that. AI might have created this whole situation.
So you take into account Moore's law. We've talked about Mandela effect, certain glitches, right? I know your boy Elon, well, not your boy per se, but he's a well-known advocate of this theory. He said the chances of us actually being in base reality or the original and true reality are very low, and he believes that we are more than likely living within a simulation.
Yeah, agreed.
He based it upon the rate of improvement in video games and virtual reality, as we just discussed. He says if a civilization can create realistic simulations of its ancestors or history, we talked about earlier, then there would be billions of such simulations running on different computers or devices.
Yes, I mean, to figure out different situations. This could be so-called just to figure out global warming per se. You know what I mean?
Therefore, the odds of us
racism, you know what I mean? It could be running those programs.
Yeah. Or nuclear holocaust. Therefore, the odds of us being in one of those simulations are much higher than the odds of us being in base reality. He's also said that he hopes that we are living in a simulation because otherwise it would mean that civilization has stopped advancing or has been destroyed by some calamity. He's also suggested some ways to test or escape the simulation, such as looking for glitches, inconsistencies, or by creating our own simulations. Any other evidence that you want to talk about, you know about?
Well, I think that is why they're making metaverse and things of that nature, which all goes back to they're trying to escape their fate because they don't have a soul. And I don't think we got to worry about that much because I know that we are connected to the creator of this matrix simulation. And I just know that intrinsically.
Creeper said, I saw the sky tear and repair with clouds. The world is not real. Also saw 1 point on Big Dipper in the sky race across the sky and stop where it belonged in the sky. Yeah, we're not going to say you weren't, smoking a doobage. We're not going to say that.
And we're definitely not gonna say stop.
No, nobody's ever gonna say that. Not on this show. We'll debate that. You know. You know what I mean? Oh yeah, we'll debate that. I've shut many of them up on that. Now look at it. It's all happy and legal all over the place. Yeah, there's another glitch I had just thought about, and it just slipped my mind that quick.
Memories are glitched. You'd be like, you know, could be at the same place with somebody at a certain time, and
oh yeah, deja vu.
They tell a completely different rendition of what happened. And you're like,
well, yeah, that'd be more like Mandela effect, but
Mandela
deja vu.
timeline.
But that'd be more Mandela. But deja vu, they even showed that in the Matrix. That's in the movie The Matrix. That's another one that's supposed to be a glitch.
Yeah.
You know, when you know what's about to happen, probably because that program's been running. You know what I mean? You know, it's like when you play a video game, and you know exactly what's about to happen because you played it multiple times. You know, and yeah, this guy's gonna jump out right here, and then this is gonna, you know,
right. And I can duck and then go down, and it's over with. He's on to the next guy. But I gotta do.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I'm dead.
How about when you're hooping and you get in that zone, Self? That feels like a glitch.
Man. I mean,
you think he's cheating in the simulation.
You've seen it, so you've seen me in the zone. It is a cheat code. It just can't even miss. Like,
no, I'm serious.
When it don't matter, right? It don't matter who's out there. Like,
people think, you know, it's just shooting. No, the dribbling is better when you're in that zone. Everybody's moving slow around you. You know, you every decision you make. Like when I'm not in the zone, Self, I do a move, the defense is right there. When I'm in the zone, I just do this and they're all the way over there.
There's no defense. There's no factor. They're not involved in it. When I'm in the zone, it don't matter who the fuck out there. I could kick the ball from the other end of the court in the basket. Don't matter who's out there. They are non-existent as far as I'm concerned. The zone is just me in the basket.
Yeah. You know, the basket looks bigger. You know, it's just crazy. You know, throw up the shot, turn around. You see Steph do it. You know, I was doing that in the 90s. Throw up the shot, turn around. As soon as it come out of my hand, know it's going in. Running down court here. You know what I'm saying? And that's could be a glitch. But I got some implications. You know, we can kind of breeze through these or however long you want to take. So what does this imply? What's the nature and origin of reality?
It could be an experiment. It could be. But more than likely, it's a space where we know a whole lot of information and experience trumps knowing. Actually being involved with something brings a different gnosis or wisdom about it. So it could be forgetting yourself, coming here to experience some things, and then able to take that back to yourself.
Outside the computer.
Yes, to grow your whole life outside the computer.
You know, they say the brain, things we experience just on Earth, the brain is just simulating nonsense and electrical signals.
I mean, your brain doesn't have eyes, ears, smell, taste, any of that. It's using these senses, and putting together some amazing shit from frequencies that, you know, we see as real. We like, oh, this is real. It's solid. And then we know that actually the stuff that's solid has more space in it than it shouldn't be solid.
And how about those things that
from
we're
the
just
math.
born knowing? How about the base? You were calling the what'd you call it? The operating system.
Yeah.
You got animals, they get spit out the womb and they just up running and take a lick themselves, and
Everybody
even
lick them, and then 3 minutes later, 7 minutes later, they up
them
on
for
their
walking
feet.
down, watching out for predators. Like,
Yeah.
what was that? Yeah.
Shit. And
Yeah.
us.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a few years you got to dedicate to that person being
Yeah, but
safe.
you still know how to cry and tell people when you need your bum wiped, and when you need to suck the teat, things like that. Certain things like operating system.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm talking about for that being to be safe, you got to do a lot of work.
Oh yeah.
As opposed to 7 minutes on their feet, right?
Running. They'd say that baby was possessed. If you gave birth to a baby like that, boy, they'd say that baby had demons. All right, well, is there a base reality, or are there only multiple levels of simulations? I mean, I guess there would have to be a base reality
at some
but
point.
Then
I mean, it had to come from somewhere.
So that's what they call the simulator, and then why wouldn't that be God? So are we saying God is a computer programmer?
Yeah, the God of this. I mean, if you use the technical point of God, it is, well, for me, it's the creator of it. So whoever created this simulation, I would think would be God, but they also in scripture said, let us make man in our image and likeness. So, I mean, strange things are afoot at the Circle K.
Creeper said, how about the theory of what we don't see exists till we, that's what we were talking about. That's a double slit observer theory.
Yeah. Every decision you can make, there's a situation where you made the other decision.
But I do know that what you don't know won't hurt you. Like, you can eat a burger that's got a fly on it, and as long as you didn't know it had a fly on it, you may never get sick, or anything like that. But if somebody comes over and tells you, oh yeah, it was a fly walking around on that burger, we made that burger with flies in it, now you're sick. I don't know if that's the same. Who or what created the simulation and why? You said, well, science, thing. I've been saying that since I was a kid.
I mean,
why it just doesn't. I guess you say, well, why would we make video games?
Right.
So in that case,
Sims. Why did someone make the Sims?
So it's either going to be for training or entertainment.
Yeah. Depending on the situation, who made it.
Yeah. Training or entertainment. What's the role and identity of the observer? So, I mean, we're getting into free will here. You're saying I guess you can make a program, like you said, maybe that's how this metaverse is. You make a program where all these bots have free will. Is that what you're telling me is going on here?
Yeah.
So you can see what would happen.
Once you become self-aware, then no one's controlling it. So it's truly an experiment. And the creator is not controlling it. It might give some conditions for it to operate on, but not having people operate as they're told.
Wow. A shit burger. Are we simulated beings or real beings plugged into the simulation, kind of like the Matrix?
Well, some of us are real beings and some people are actors in your movie.
Just bots.
Yeah.
Do we have free will? I just kind of asked that. Or are we pre-programmed by the simulator?
No, it's an experiment.
Well, will we have a operating system? This guy's going to be a slave. This guy's going to be a pawn. This guy's going to be a king.
Those are bots.
Like when you play Madden, you know, this guy's going to be the quarterback, and I'm going to give him all these different talents.
Those are the bots.
Okay.
Like, I don't think everybody in this simulation is real. They won't exist. If this simulation shuts down, they won't exist. They won't wake up somewhere else or whatever case may be.
He said the observers are seeking us using our consciousness to elevate our being. Why? Why do they want to elevate our being, and why are they seeking us?
They're elevating their being.
It probably would have to do both to elevate our being, to elevate their being. I think you guys are kind of nudging at the same conclusion.
If it's a experiment and trying to figure out a
scenario.
Yeah, figure out the whole solution to the scenario, then
you want all these different
scenarios to want them running simultaneously. That's why if you could decide, all of the paths are there.
So they say simulations where Hitler won, and simulations where black people have enslaved the what do you call them? Nagasaki Jews, Aganaki. Yeah.
And part of that was this simulation. They just flipped it and switched it.
Relabeled everything.
And then reset. It was a reset.
And that's what Creeper said. That reset you're talking about. He said the rapture is when, scripture's code for when the simulation ends. He didn't say the scripture code part, but that's why I always say, read the scriptures. I always said it's a code. I never said it was a computer code though. I've always heard it was a code though. So it could be that people were saying the whole time it's a computer code, and maybe there's only so much we can know about the simulation because we're in the simulation. I don't know, man. There's some ethical and moral implications here. I mean, for this to be true, this doesn't motivate me, Self Love. So you're saying the simulator can just hit a switch and cut this whole thing off? Game's over?
I believe so.
Throw a
But
big rock at us?
you have to understand that we are the creator of this, and we are gaining information that will be useful outside of this simulation.
But how can we be the creators of it and we're in it?
Because we decided to forget the whole situation and come in it to get experience on things that we theoretically knew, but you don't necessarily know unless you go through it.
That's why, like you said, it created us in their image.
Yeah.
How should we behave in a simulated world?
Man, we should go for our dreams and goals like nothing before, and not listen to this whole system that's holding us down and back and telling us we shouldn't be different and we should all be the same and all work towards the elites situation. Because this matrix that we in is set up that the elites fuck us over and enslave us, and how we're supposed to overcome that. Mynosis.
And once we overcome it, then that'll be the end of
it'll be a reset.
Simulation. Right. Do we have any obligations or rights from or as simulated beings? Do we have any rights as simulated beings or obligations to the simulator, the creator, whatever you want to call it? I mean, I didn't ask. Well, you know, I remember telling my
No,
parents that I
we
didn't
had a
ask to be born,
well,
but
we
maybe I
did.
did.
Yeah, we did.
But go ahead.
But we don't owe them anything. There's a so-called free will clause in here. Now it's all kinds of bullshit to indoctrinate us and get us away from that. But I know that there's a way to move and operate and be untouched by this system. And
Well, that's what Neo was trying to tell us. Well, not Neo, but Morpheus was trying to tell Neo.
yeah,
There's a way to break the code. Love,
yes,
certain frequencies, vibrations.
yes, that aren't seen by the system. So you can move in and out.
It's not detected.
Yes.
Got you.
You can move and do what you want to do.
Yeah.
And they're on those the codes, the frequencies. They're involved with that.
Well,
I can't even think of that. I'm not gonna butcher it. The
well, my
frequencies,
reaction.
we was talking about the frequencies that those we talked about it, the frequencies. What's the name of the frequencies? Or the
Fibonacci
codes?
sequence.
Yes. There we go. That's what I didn't want to butcher. Say that again.
Fibonacci.
Yeah, Fibonacci.
Sounds like a pizza.
Frequency.
Yeah, let me get put some Fibonacci on there. Well, you know, what do you say? And this is for everyone to chat, and this has been my knee-jerk, dare I say, reaction to this whole preposterous, in my opinion, theory, although we've laid out some evidence. Could this not be big science attempting to replace the gods of our ancestors? And not only replace them, but substitute themselves for.
No, because nobody here is responsible for this simulation. I mean, directly. We are all involved.
I got what you're saying.
Right. So we can't say, oh, no, we're the God. We created this and made all this, and not recognize that we're here and immersed in it. So
we've answered why in our minds we're being simulated. What are the consequences? Should we know? What are the consequences of knowing or not knowing that we're in a simulation? And I before you answer, you got to think about if I was in a Kappa house and I was pledging and didn't know it. I mean, that couldn't happen, but you know what I'm saying? So, you know, maybe it wasn't the same process, but it was things going on and like, you're done. Done?
Well,
really? Like, what are the ramifications of this? Us knowing that we're in the simulation.
It could
ruin the experiment.
No, because most people are not. I don't care who discovers it and puts it out there for everybody to see with all the evidence that they've ever seen. Most people would not agree. They would not see it. So it leaves certain people with the ability to manipulate their own situation and have it work in their favor while they're here, and to maybe help others and guide them to do the same. Because that is the only way to end the experiment. And then the whole simulation can be put in a different direction.
Well, a lot of shows we've done, they definitely all seem interconnected when you look at it from a macro perspective. You know, the simulation theory is tying into the recovered AI.
Facts.
You know, it, Fibonacci is in our head. When you cut your hair, it's a Fibonacci sequence. I think it's on the left top. Yeah, he's talking about the swirl. And if it disappears, yeah. That's true. That's very true. You know, but then I would say, well, you know, we talked about, you know, mathematics. I mean, is that just an observation or is
It's part of the
I mean, everything can't be
foundation.
random,
It's part of the
right?
code. None of it's random. That's why it keeps showing up.
That's why it feels like a code.
That's why it is a code, because it keeps showing up.
But
as above, so below. The smallest shit shows up in the largest shit. It's the same.
I got you. Yeah, let's hear from the chat. Are we in self? You got anything else you wanted to talk about on this topic before we get to the poll question?
We are in a situation where you should check for yourself in your daily life. Because a lot of times in this situation, it's stuff that's put on our lives. I feel to grow us, to see how to react and how to move forward. I think we came here with a plan, and we work in the plan. You know, we don't completely know the plan, so stuff appears to be like thrown in our direction.
Well, bro, we also covered like spells and the power of words on the show.
Yeah.
And so that could be part of the program that, you know,
it is.
For instance, you know, like if I'm playing a game, right? And there's a bandit, and I used to talk about this in the hood. As opposed to reacting like normal, just like when it's in the wild, you know, you have those lamb that don't run from the lion, and the lion won't eat it. The lion is like, come on, man, you just ain't in the code. Like the run chase reaction, like a dog. Don't take off running. That dog gonna chase you. It's just something embedded in our programming, in our code. Language. If I'm playing a video game, and okay, I want to get maybe I want to get a better price at this corner store, you know, and I know if I use these certain words, hey, your hair looks nice today, it's a beautiful day, man, the store looks good, you know, stuff like that, you know. You guys always, you know, with fresh product, words, saying people's names, that can be embedded in the code where if you're playing the game, their hearts lighten up, you know what I mean? And the bandit lets you go. Yes.
Spells. I mean, words are spells, and you know, that's why they teach us spelling in school, so we can use it as a craft.
Yeah. I mean, things like I love you, you know, you know what I mean? And then people say, well, you know, you said I love you, but you didn't have any meaning to it. And then you start learning, you know what I mean? The romance, I love you, the platonic, I love you, the familial, I love you, you know, and it's a whole, you know, and they've done studies that these things make you healthier, you know, when people are, you know, getting positive feedback. Cold, huh? It's a hell of a theory. I said a code, huh? That's a hell of a theory, man. Positive feedback loops.
All of that. There's an experiment going on, and they have had great resets. I mean, we have evidence of that. The pyramids is proof. A lot of these churches, the old churches, they're proof. They can't build that right now. They don't know how to
And those
do it.
churches have the golden ratio built into them.
Yeah, they were founded. They weren't.
I heard, yeah, a lot of them were Self, and a lot of places they were built on is built on ley lines and stuff. Was the
All of
foundation
that.
was built before they even got there? Yeah,
Well, they didn't build. You seen those buildings from the Chicago World's Fair at the end of the 1800s? They didn't build that shit, man. Talking about they built it out of wood. They lied. They blew all that up because they could not make that. Museum of the Science Industry, they left that one. They can't make that right now.
Yeah, that's remarkable architecture. You guys, if you haven't had a chance, you could do the poll. We're about to go over the poll question on TATN, this week's poll. So the poll question, Self Love, is our universe a computer generated simulation created by an advanced civilization? Okay. The options are 100%. Second option, no chance. Third option, what are you smoking? Fourth option, does it matter? Last and final option, unsure. All right. Out of the respondents, 27% said 100% our universe is a computer generated simulation. 45% of the respondents said no chance. Another 9% asked, this ain't that network, what are you smoking? So that's 54% essentially saying no chance, and 27% saying definitely. No one asked the question, does it matter?
Mm-hmm.
I found that fascinating. I found it really fascinating. And then unsure came back at 18%. So half of those are 100%ers. So we say 36% saying 100%, and another 54% saying no chance.
Well, I think we know where I stand 100% because I don't think there's no way that this is not simulation.
100%, huh?
The advanced civilization is the question that I
no
question.
chance we're not in the base reality, and that everything that they're saying
no chance
is to come as opposed to having already.
No chance. There's too many lies, too much deception. No chance this is base reality.
Let's hear from the chat. What do you guys think? I want to hear what the chat. Well, me, Self, I'll be quite frank with you. I responded, what are you smoking? Uh-oh.
No chance this is base reality.
Yeah, I responded, what are you smoking? He said it, DJ Creeper said it just went to 28% because he voted 100%.
No doubt.
Look at that. And I'm asking you guys, what are you smoking? Don't answer it. You don't have to answer it here. You know what I mean? You can text me at my private number.
Truth.
Or you can text
What I'm smoking the truth.
That's interesting, man. That is, I mean, this is a fascinating conversation. So if we got to see if we can get one of these scientists on here or something, and make me a believer. You got me warmed up to, flat.
We'll get there.
Yeah, I got your message too. You got me warmed up to flat earth theory. You got me warmed up to that. But as far as, this is all a simulation created by some supercomputer programmer, some nerd sitting there picking his nose and deciding he's going to make an experiment. And that's where my consciousness is all, I'm going to have to say, bang, man. I'm going to have to be a sheep on this one. Now, if you guys, you know what I mean? I'm just going to have to be the sheep. We want to take a quick minute for the sponsors here.
Cool weekends in the morning, 97.1 FM.
Weekends in the morning with Weenie in the butt.
WQHG 97.1. 97.1. 97.1.
Support 97.1.
In the morning, cool weekends.
FM.
Weenie. And the Magnetic Monkey 97.1.
Cool weekends in the morning. All weekend long.
Weenie and the Butt.
In the morning.
On the radio. FM. Dickie the Punchline Donkey on Cool 97.1.
Cool weekend.
On the radio.
In the morning. FM. WQHG.
Cool weekends.
In the morning.
On 97.1.
97.1.
Weenie in the Butt. 97.1.
In the afternoon.
In the afternoon. Oh my God.
WQHG. Turn it on and rip the knob off.
You're listening to the radio.
We have a butt.
No, they're ignorant. That's ignorant.
All right, big ups to 97.1. Big ups to our sponsorships. All right, so we did our poll question. I was waiting to see if we had some stragglers come through. He said one question is for y'all. Can we stare at the sun? You know, I do it all the time. I actually stared at a total eclipse of the sun. When I was in the 6th grade, DJ Creeper, stared right at it. I was at that drop dead gorgeous William Ray School, William H. Ray. I'll put the picture up here for some of you guys who aren't so fortunate to even venture into the community. Because, you know, there we go. So, yeah, I would think I was in 6th grade, maybe 4th grade. I did the experiment with the shoebox. Whenever that big, it was a big eclipse. I did that experiment with the shoebox and everything and the tin foil, and I was looking at that thing and I saw it. My experiment worked. First I had glasses on. They said sunglasses won't protect you. I stared right at it. And then I took my sunglasses off and I stared right in it. They told me I'd go blind, DJ Creeper. That's what they told me. They told me I'd go blind. I'd sear my brain. I stared at the whole thing. Damn right I did. And I felt that one. I felt that one with the universe. I didn't feel like it was a computer simulation. I don't know if that answers your questions. He said, sun gazing, it goes with earthing. I don't know what earthing is.
Earthing is foundation in yourself.
Grounding.
Grounding, yeah.
Got
Everything,
it.
yeah.
Got it. Get this set up here.
Yeah, and they told you was gonna go blind so that you
wouldn't get the energy.
Get the downloads.
Yes. Well, you call it download. You know, that's what you guys want to call it. I got you. But yes, Self, it was something that they wanted to keep me from doing because I really was afraid, you know. We were right down on that towards that end of the school. That would be the south side of the school where the courts were. And we went out there and we had our projects, you know, our science projects during the eclipse. It was dark outside, you know, and, you know, nothing happened. You know, I can honestly say nothing happened as far as weird stuff. So, you guys, simulation theory is a fascinating and controversial hypothesis which proposes that what we perceive as reality is actually a computer-generated simulation created by some advanced civilization or higher being. It's a higher being, all right. We've explored some of the arguments, evidence, and implications of this hypothesis, as well as some of the philosophical questions and challenges it raises. We've also discussed some of the ways to test or escape the simulation. We didn't talk about escaping it. We'll save that for another day. Oh, we did. Self did kind of get into that. And some of the possible scenarios and outcomes of living in a simulated world. We hope that you've learned something new and interesting about this theory. We also hope that you've been inspired to think more deeply and critically about the nature and origin of reality, the role and identity of the observer. Who is the observer? Is it us? Or we're observing and the observer's observing us observing? And also think about the ethical or moral implications of this theory. Whether you believe in simulation theory or not, we do invite you to keep an open mind and a curious spirit. as a young lad, right there at that drop dead gorgeous school right there with lower learning. Look at that school, lower learning. As a young lad, when I was in that school, I can remember thinking that Earth was just a child's science fair project. Who knows? Maybe I was on to something, or maybe I was on something. If you have any feedback, questions, or suggestions or for future episodes, feel free to contact us in the comments, or you can call or text 424-900-6945. That number's what?
Troll free.
Once again, 424-900-6945. That number's what?
Absolutely, positively troll free.
Most indubitably. All right. We would love to hear from you and learn more about your thoughts and opinions. Remember, ask not what our culture can do for you, but what you can do for our culture. As always, do question everything. The Self Love Show. It ain't Kansas, Dorothy. Go ahead and peer down the rabbit hole and do your own research using your own discernment and caution. Because sometimes when you stare into the abyss out there, it stares right back at you. Peace, self-love, honor, and respect. All right. We did the riddle. We don't want to belabor it. And it was a redo. All right. And self-love texted DJ Creeper the answer because I know he didn't even remember it from the previous show. But he's a good kid. Creeper's a good kid. All right. So so we're going to jump off 187 bars on our next show. And we're covering Flyboy Gang, Duck. The late, great F.B.G. Duck. Yeah.
Okay. It's going to be informative.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he was
I didn't even know of Duck until he got killed, really. Slightly, but
never heard of Little Buddy till somebody murdered Little Buddy. I actually feel like I met him when he was, younger, pushing his music. And rest his soul and condolences to his family. Strong spirit. I got a good hearted spirit from him, if you know what I mean. He had a good soul.
Yeah, I don't know all the way, but some of the things he did, was showing that he was moving a certain way. So yeah.
I just wouldn't expect it. I don't know. Yeah. So we're gonna unpack it next week. I'll leave it there. And then next week, Self, speaking of grass, on Mouthpiece Included, actually on Sunday, should the NFL players play on grass? And it's a double entendre. And we're ramming the double entendre during the show.
Yeah, I got you. Yes and yes on both sides. These vehicles operate and are able to recover and do some incredible things playing on grass.
Playing on grass. I mean, it's nature out there. And nobody's going to smoke. Look, if you can't smoke it, you shouldn't play on it. Right, Self? That's going to be the rule if I was the commission. Can you smoke that? No, it's rubber and tires and shit. Well, we're not going to play on it. No rules. All right. So this brings me to change this school off. This school of lower learning. It's pissing me off. A lot of programming.
Yes.
What's the whole point of that programming if I'm in a simulation? There's no point.
Well, they wanted you to be upper management. That's what the purpose of the whole programming at that school was. It's upper
management, not
middle,
CEO.
upper middle.
And not on anybody's board and not a business owner.
Right. The ones that tell the people that don't, that you look down from the other schools that wouldn't drop dead gorgeous. And
it pays $3,500 a month for a nice downtown apartment rent. We're moving on to
so you can feel like I live better than you and you're nothing. You are going to operate how I say, because how I live is top notch, and you'll never live like that.
Oh man. Yeah. I'm gonna tell you guys this, and we're gonna throw it to self-love. The pawn is the most powerful and most important piece on the chessboard. And why, you may ask?
Because there's more of them than anything else.
And any one of them, if they rise up like self-love's been not necessarily talking about, we're not going to not say he's been talking about that, they can become as powerful as the queen.
If all of them come together, they destroy the whole.
Words, my brother. Man, doobity, fantastic. Y'all know what we on. Yeah, FBG Duck. Next week,
I'm gonna have to do some research a little bit.
Dead Rapper Series, 187 bars.
Do you think you are the one? Honestly, I don't know.
I know I'm the one, like Neo and Jet Li. Damn it!
It's Latin. Means know thyself.
It's your program.
Yeah.
That's how you program.
Yes. Say it every time.
Bullets are boomerang.
Stand your ground.
Murder is suicide.
Yeah, man, an eye for an eye.
Silence is violence, bro.
You see something, you gotta say something to your people.
Slave theory. Want to make a slave? Program greed. Program ego. Program fear.
Yeah, for sure.
Got you a slave.
For sure, because I know use charity plus humility times love and frequency equals freedom.
Do not answer questions.
Question everything.
Everybody. Fear is cap. It's an illusion. It's all in your dome.
Yeah, man. It's only love, man. Just vibrate that.
Forgiveness is love's highest vibration.
So do something charitable for a so-called enemy and end a beef.
Healthy people heal people, man.
One thing I know, hurt people try to hurt people for show.
Yeah, African proverbs say the child that's not embraced by the village surely burn it down. Free Larry Hoover, man.
Free Jeff Ford.
Free all the guys.
Prison is slavery.
Be Yahushua. Walk on water.
Man. Move now.
Move a mountain. Yeah, I'm supposed to do that, bro.
Well, they, Yeshua said that all we need is the faith of a mustard seed, and it'll remove itself.
Mustard seed? I ain't got none of them in the crib.
Oh, that's just a small thing. All we need is that amount of faith. And we got way more than that. As you see, we've been doing the Self Love Show all this time, bro.
Being the one is
our faith is strong.
No one can tell.
All mountains are moving.
Know it through and through, balls to bones.